All right, we're going to read all the articles, okay, in this magazine. We're going to listen to them, and then we're going to go over your reading test for tomorrow.
History makers. Jackie Robinson.
Follow on, please.
He broke down walls 75 years ago and changed baseball. As you read, identify 2 obstacles that Robinson faced. On April 15, 1947, more than 25,000 people packed into a baseball stadium in New York City. Fans came to watch the Dodgers. They would also get to see the team's new first baseman, Jackie Robinson. The 28-year-old was the first black player in Major League Baseball, MLB. History makers. Jackie Robinson. He broke down walls 75 years ago and changed baseball. As you read, identify 2 obstacles that Robinson faced. On April 15, 1947, more than 25,000 people packed into a baseball stadium in New York City. Fans came to watch the Dodgers. They would also get to see the team's new first baseman, Jackie Robinson. The 28-year-old was the first black player in Major League Baseball, MLB. Separate leagues.
Oh.
In the 1940s, many parts of American life had segregation, including baseball. Black players were barred from MLB. They played for low pay in other leagues. Branch Rickey, president of the Dodgers, wanted to change that by hiring a black player. He knew he needed a player with courage to stand up to racism. That's the belief that one race is better than others. After meeting Robinson, Rickey knew he had found the right man. Keeping his cool. During his first season in the big leagues, Robinson received death threats from fans because of his skin color. Players on other teams shouted insults at him. When his team played in other cities, he was often not allowed to stay in the same hotels as his white teammates. Some of his teammates didn't like playing with a black man, and many didn't support him. Through it all, Robinson kept his cool. He proved how good he was. After the 1947 season, he won baseball's first Rookie of the Year award. Changing the game. Robinson opened the doors for more black players to enter Major League Baseball. They were finally able to show America what they could do. Many leaders thanked Robinson for playing a part in the civil rights movement. That movement fought for equal rights for black people. Robinson stopped playing baseball in 1956 and died in 1972, but he is still an inspiration today. His daughter, Sharon Robinson, gives one reason for that. She says he knew the importance of standing up for what you believe in. A true game changer. Here are a few key moments in Jackie Robinson's life. In 1939 and 1940, Robinson was a football star in college. In 1955, he helped the Dodgers win their first World Series championship. In 1963, Robinson took part in the famous March on Washington in the U.S. Capitol. U.S. history. The Lincoln Memorial turns 100. Opened in 1922, This building in our nation's capital honors President Abraham Lincoln. President's Day is February 21st. That's a day when America celebrates its current and past leaders. One of those presidents is Abraham Lincoln, and he has a memorial in our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. Who was Lincoln? Abraham Lincoln was the 16th President of the United States from 1861 to 1865. While Lincoln was in office, the country was fighting the Civil War. Northern and Southern states fought each other. Lincoln worked hard to bring the states back together as one country. In 1863, he signed the Emancipation Proclamation. That was an order to free people still enslaved in the South. A symbol of hope. After Lincoln was killed in 1865, people started thinking about his memorial. Work on the building started in 1914. A spot for it was picked on the National Mall in Washington, D.C. The mall is a park with monuments and buildings that honor American heroes. For example, the Martin Luther King Jr. Memorial is there. The plan for Lincoln's memorial called for materials from all over the country. Special kinds of stone were brought from Massachusetts, Indiana, Alabama, Georgia, and other states. The builders used materials from the North and the South as a symbol of the unity of the U.S. Words from Lincoln's famous speeches were written on the walls. A national treasure. The memorial was finished in 1922, and 50,000 people came to see the opening, and visitors have continued to come ever since. The Lincoln Memorial is the most visited of the mall's memorials, says Mike Litterst, who works for National Mall and Memorial Parks. It gets around 8 million visitors a year. Map it out. The Lincoln Memorial is located on the National Mall in Washington, D.C. This special place has many of our country's most important buildings. Which direction would you travel to get from the Lincoln Memorial to the U.S. Capitol? Which direction would you take to go from the Washington Monument to the White House? Physical science. Race to Earth. Have you heard of a sport called speed skydiving? Athletes jump out of planes and race toward the ground, head first. When they get close to Earth, they open their parachutes and land on their feet. Speed skydiving started in Florida in 1999 and has since spread around the world. Last year, Maxine Tate set a women's world record with a speed of just over 285 miles per hour. That's faster than a car's top speed in NASCAR. Racers try to keep their bodies straight as they dive to reduce drag. Drag is a force that slows the movement of an object. Even a tiny change in the way Tate holds her head can cause drag and reduce her speed. I focus on keeping my body straight so I can dive as fast as possible, Tate says.
And that's it. All right. Let's go back to here. And we're going to be highlighting some stuff. So I'm going to get out of either pencil, color crayon, color pencil, a highlighter. Okay.
Stadium in New York City.
I like this part right here. Right where it says changing the game. Robinson changed the doors for more black players and to enter the major league. He had like this part right here. He changed baseball. Says he broke down walls 75 years ago and changed baseball. I like that. Again. Okay, here's ready. See where it says separate leagues? You see that? You see where it says black players? Highlight that. So black players were barred from MLB. In other words, they can play professional baseball. So black players were barred from MLB. I like that. Hope you got it. You see where it says words to know? Highlight this. Barred means to keep out. Highlight that. Where it says words to know, that little box right there with the red check. Highlight barred. Barred means to keep out. Okay. You see the middle section? Okay. You see where it says some of his teammates didn't like playing with the black man, and many of them did not support him. Highlight that part. Where it says some of his teammates didn't like playing with a black man, and many didn't support him. And highlight this. Civil rights movement. That movement fought for equal rights for black people. Highlight that. Okay. Highlight this. See where it says in the middle column? In the middle column, where it says in 1963, he signed the Emancipation Proclamation. That is in order to free people still enslaved in the South. Got it? Right here. Good. All right. Now look across. You see this little section right here? The Lincoln Memorial is located in what they call National Mall. Okay. So the Lincoln Memorial is located in it's called National Mall. Highlight that, please. Okay, you see the middle column where it says Unity, and Unity is highlighted yellow? Right below this, okay, it tells you what is written, okay, on the walls of the Lincoln Memorial. It says words from Lincoln's speeches, from famous speeches, were written on the walls. Highlight that for me, please. Go to this page here where it says Race to Earth. Highlight this. Right here. Racers try to keep their bodies straight as they dive to reduce drag. To reduce drag. That's important. Okay. Hopefully you got this. I said highlight it. Okay, go over to the section that says homework. Highlight this. See towards the bottom where it says homework also teaches. Homework also teaches kids how to be responsible. Highlight that for me.